Good afternoon, culture. What is going on? It's your boy Grego here, reporting live. About to get into the UEFA Champions League final. PSG, Bayern. Waiting on my fan to get up in here in a little bit. We got our fan from Banter Club FC getting ready to join us. Uh, I said we are in the mix and getting ready. Give me 1 second. We are up on Twitch, YouTube, Periscope. We're trying that for the first time. So, yeah, we're about to try this live thing, and hopefully, y'all are here to join us and getting ready for this final here. I'm actually waiting on some wings in a little bit. So, you know, let us know what's good. Final here. I'm actually waiting on some wings in a little bit. So, you know, let us know what's good. Final here. I'm actually waiting. Here we go. Oh, we got company. We got company.
What's good?
What is up? What is
Good. Yes, I'm being black as fuck picking out my afro, so you're guessing.
up? We got Neil from Banter Club FC. What's good with you, man?
What's good, brother? How are you?
Hey, we can't call it, man. Like I said, we're getting for a good final, man. Before we get going, of course, I want to make sure good shout out to the late and great Kobe Bryant. Today's his birthday. He would have been
Yeah.
42 today. And for those of y'all who don't know, he was an absolute advocate for the game of soccer. So yeah, respect to the great Kobe Bean. But yeah, man, we got a nice game. Like actually, this is about close to what I expected for the final. Like
Yeah.
I had PSG. I I wasn't sure if Bayern was going to be for real because like they actually ran through the Bundesliga on the restart, and I was like, don't choke, like don't choke. But hey, we're here.
Right. Yeah. I was legit shocked about it too, if I'm being honest. The I think we're going to be in for a great game today. Despite the fact that both PSG and uh, Bayern play in leagues respectively in the Bundesliga and the Liga that are pretty much until recently have been pretty much one team leagues. So I'm just looking forward for the ebbs and flow of the game. They just did the. Did you see the starting 11 for both sides?
Not yet. Let's just check it out real quick.
Yeah. So let me pull it up because there was some interesting. Hold on.
Let me see if it'll let me share the screen. What you
All right,
got?
uh, we got for PSG between the sticks we got Keylor Navas. From left to right, Bernat, Kimpembe, Silva, Kerr. In the middle is Paredes, Marquinhos, and Ander Herrera. Up top is from the left to right, Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, and Angel Di Maria.
Nice.
And then for Bayern Munich, Neuer obviously between the sticks, obviously left to right, the Canadian Messi, Alphonso Davies, Jordi Alba, Jerome Boateng, and Kimmich. In the center, we have Alcantara and Goretzka behind Coleman, Muller, and Gnabry, and then Lewandowski up top. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Both, I honestly expected Verratti to start with PSG. If I'm being honest, a little shocked that we got what we got, but it's interesting times. I think Verratti, I think, deserves a start. He is more reliable in the midfield for PSG,
Mhm.
and obviously missing from the starting 11 and the bench for PSG is Edison Cavani, who I think, as we jokingly said in the pre-show, that
Right.
he's I think there are several clubs that are rumored to be signing him. We just had, I think one of the strongest rumors is Inter Miami,
Mm-hmm.
who just won the what is it called? Is it the Florida Derby? Is it the
You know what, man? Shout out to Inter Miami. Getting their first win over Orlando. I guess so far they split their games so far. So like they
yeah
Orlando won in Orlando during the MLS back tournament, and then Miami's got this one. Like I caught a little bit of the game last night, and I think that with our old guy Gonzalez Perez down there, and soon but Tweety started. Like, I actually think that they actually have a decent setup to where if they were able to get a guy like Cavani, um, they actually might be halfway decent.
yeah yeah. I mean, with Blaise Matuidi was the shock. I shouldn't say shock. It was We knew that Juventus was going to, if they didn't do well in the Champions League, which they didn't, we knew that was one of the clubs that was going to fall apart. It just so happened that Blaise Matuidi, who really wasn't on the out at Juventus, ended up going to Inter Miami, and it's just like, okay, now, I mean, with the whole like Euro snob thing and European clubs not taking the MLS seriously as they should, as a reputable league, and I think for me personally, this is just me speaking
Right.
honestly, like I wish the MLS actually actually had some form of relegation zone, because the more clubs that come into fruition, it's going to cause a bottleneck in the playoff scenarios, because you have so many teams that really haven't played well the entire season but still have a playoff opportunity, and it's like, but your season wasn't good.
Mm.
So anyway, just kind of going back to Blaise Matuidi, I mean, I don't know how you felt about that signing, but I thought when the news broke, I was just like, wait a minute, are you sure that's not Inter Milan that he's going to, and not Inter Miami? Um,
What?
Now,
The crazy thing there is that I don't think people even realize that he's 33. Like, because he doesn't look it. Like we talked
right,
about this
right,
on the show a couple weeks ago. Like the fact that because he looks like a smooth 26,
right,
and so for a lot of guys, like you're thinking that, yeah, just like you said, like you're like he's probably good to go for Inter Milan, but no, he's 33. Probably about to pack it in pretty soon. It's like I'm gonna go ahead and get a nice little bag. I think the clever thing there was that he's not even he's not even on a DP contract, so they're actually
right,
getting a pretty nice deal for him to keep him within the cap, and they're still able to go get a guy like Cavani or whoever else they want to. I think there's even talk that they might actually switch from Cavani and go over to Suarez, which I actually think would be the better look as far as from a gate standpoint. If we ever are allowed to go back to games, maybe one of these days, before 2030, you never know.
right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think what for me, one of the what I'm able to go back to games. Um, I'm more interested in how many more players that were really did amazing things in Europe are not using the and are not using MLS to necessarily revitalize their career, but to finalize their career. Um, I think Zlatan is the perfect example of a player that kind of manipulated LAFC,
Right.
or rather LA Galaxy. I'm sorry. And because now, because he basically used that money as a bargaining chip to go back to AC Milan, whereas you have players like Nani and Chicharito and now Blaise Matuidi that that can tell other players across Europe's leagues and lower league leagues in Mexico and across the world that look, you can make a destination in the MLS and
Right.
it can be fruitful. It just so and also, from an Inter Miami standpoint, they are a relatively budding club, and to have an owner in United Legends, David Beckham, only benefits their global brand. And that's why players like Edison Cavani are linked to Inter Miami. I don't think he would be linked to Inter Miami had David if David Beckham wasn't partial owner.
If they weren't, if it wasn't for Beckham and also the fact that it's just Miami, because for those of y'all who don't know, there's a lot of former players from Europe that end up kind of resting out in Miami, whether it be on a vacation standpoint or just from they relocate there after they finish playing. There's a lot of players who go down there just on the regular, and I think that's why MLS stuck with the Miami project for so long, even when it didn't look like they would ever actually finally play. They just said, "Hey, we're going to stick with this. It's going to eventually work out," and here we are. Like people love Miami, players love Miami, and they'll roll with that because it's kind of sitting on the same standing as New York and L.A., where just because of it's so cosmopolitan and everything, like they fuck with it.
Right. Exactly. And we at the Banter Pub are trying to get out of this mindset of, or we aren't in that mindset of like European clubs and European leagues are where players go to thrive, and the MLS is where players go to retire. Like we're trying to get folks out of that mindset because there is so much, not just the MLS, but even the lower leagues in the United States. The USL and even lower have a ton of great clubs, local clubs that deserve support, that deserve attention, where players can cultivate and grow. I mean, and then Toronto Whitecaps players, Toronto Whitecaps supporters,
Vancouver.
still, yeah,
Vancouver.
Vancouver. I'm sorry. Love them some Alphonso Davies.
Mm-hmm.
And despite the fact that he is a tried and true Bayern Munich player now, they still say, look, he played for us here in Vancouver, and I don't see it that much with the former Newcastle midfielder. I'm sorry, the current Newcastle midfielder, former Atlanta United midfielder. I don't see it as much with him. And I can remember, I don't know if you remember, but the season that he left, after Atlanta United won the title,
Mm-hmm.
and he was rumored to go, and then he left. There was a rumor that same summer, or the following summer, that Joseph Martinez was going to go with him. So now I think Joseph is in a perfect position right now because, like I said, the MLS is relatively thriving right now. There's a lot of opportunity, and for me, I feel like I mean, I don't know how you feel. I mean, obviously, we're supposed to be perfect before the Champions League. We really shouldn't be talking about MLS, but yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of opportunity in MLS, and I'm actually looking forward to this season as it's already started, already kicked up. They really, the players really didn't have a break between the MLS's back tournament and the MLS season starting up. And I don't think the European clubs are going to have that same break. I mean, Ligue 1 has already started back up again, and PSG is going to have to leave this game and go right into, I guess, week 3, or rather week 1 of their season.
Like this whole next season is going to be a mess. Like,
it is.
Because you still have the Euros that are coming up next summer, so that means that they got to be done by a certain time, and so basically that means that they've already lost a month of possible playing time into the coming season, and so like they're basically going to have to be. It's going to have a compressed schedule. You're going to be, not a lot of time for rest. I doubt that like countries that would typically like have like a winter break like Germany and France, like they won't be able to take off this long because they got to go ahead and get their games in by a certain time.
Right.
And and so I hope that COVID don't come back because it's going if it does, yeah, this whole season's about to go to shit.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm and it's not even just the season starting that's going to be a problem. I mean, the transfer window for not just MLS but also Europe has already started, and we've already seen some significant transfers across some clubs. But players want it because they're not really getting a break.
mm,
Um, the it's not really providing the players the opportunity to relax before the season starts. On top of the fact that they may be, relaxing somewhere across the world with fellow players, and um, when they come home or back to their home club, they get the notice. Oh, by the way, you've been transferred to X place. So just pick up your things.
we,
And
we
don't
got
say how
we got a comment here in the chat. Of course, make sure you guys hit us up on Twitch, Periscope, YouTube. We'll see all the comments. Del Schaefer brought up that in Marseille they actually made it illegal for people to wear PSG jerseys and shirts over this weekend. Of course, like I'm always believe rivals stay rivals, so they're like, nah, like if you wearing PSG, fuck y'all.
No, I didn't hear that, Del Schaefer. That would not shock me. Obviously, with Marseille being PSG's, one of PSG's rivals in the league. However, I don't. Is there an expectation that people in Marseille are going to be wearing Bayern jerseys or something? Like,
I, you know what though, because like that was kind of me like during the Super Bowl this year because I'm a Raiders fan, and I was like,
Mhm.
okay, I can't, you can't root for the Chiefs, you can't root for the Niners, so it's like, yeah, if if whoever wins, like I just hope the meteor wins. That's all I can really tell you there, because yeah, there's just no way.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's as Del Schaefer brings up, obviously with him being a Marseille fan, and Marseille being the only club to win a European final, um, obviously, but again, it begs the question: does that mean because I wouldn't be caught dead in uh, a rival club, either local MLS or Europe, or any other sport. Like I'm not going to be caught, in an Eagles jersey, a Giants jersey, a Cowboys jersey. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
Um, uh, but I, but I also understand. But one of the things I also can't stand is, and I know Del Schaefer has seen this because I have, and I know you too have, Greg. The people who, um, it's not the half scarf people that I don't like. It's the people who
Mhm.
like intentionally like stitch jerseys together of rival clubs. So you have like
Okay,
half
okay,
City,
okay.
half United, or like half Marseille, half
No, who
PSG,
does that?
or
Who does that?
oh, uh, you'd be
That,
surprised
that,
how many
that,
people.
that's so weird. Like, no, that's no.
I mean, you already paid $70 or more for each jersey, and then you're going to destroy them by stitching your rival by intentionally stitching your rival like that.
Yeah,
I've seen it, and it makes me sick. But
no, like that just that's a technical foul. Like, nah, like you said, rivals stay rivals, and yeah, like I get it for the novelty, but like, did you actually gonna wear it? Like, no, no, no. That's just wild. But no, yo, what what you think about Messi bopping that Chief Keef?
I mean, he's going to have to do something to get his mind off the 8-2 loss.
Oh God, yo, I'll tell you now, Messi's going to Chicago. Bet it.
Yeah.
It's like, of course, that question always comes up. It's actually been coming up a lot more lately since the loss, and then Barca's pretty much a mess right now. And like, if he ever did come to MLS, like, where would he go? And the more as soon as I thought about it, I was like, Messi to Chicago actually makes sense, especially with them playing at Soldier Field. Like, you need it because obviously you need a place that's going to be big enough to hold all the fans that he would draw. Um, LA kind of prices themselves out because they're still playing in their soccer specific stadiums. Um, Miami's still in Fort Lauderdale. NYCFC is still in Yankee Stadium, so they don't have their own spot. They're actually the one big market the biggest market they can say, hey, we have a stadium that can hold the popularity of Messi.
Right. Did I freeze for you?
A little bit, but I can still hear you. So this is how that everybody needs to see over here. But let's see here. But no, I think that Messi definitely. I think that especially since the whole allure of Ronaldo has definitely gone down since his charges and everything came up. I think that he'll be able to. Messi will be the one that MLS decides to hang their hat on. As far as their next big megastar that comes into the league, like they might have thought it was going to be Ronaldo, but it probably ended up being Messi now. So we'll see how that goes. But hang on real quick, guys. Like, so we're running into a little bit of technical difficulties. So I wish we had the rainbow bars and everything. But give us just a minute. I'm knock you off and then I'm like just come off and then come back on.
Okay.
So right now it's just me. But yes, let us know what you guys think. Of course we're up on Periscope, um, Periscope, and Twitch. Yeah, we've never used Twitch before, so hopefully if you guys like this shit, let us know. We'll try to get more stuff up on there going forward, and so come fuck with us. But like who are you guys looking at winning today? Y'all looking at PSG or Banter? Let us know why. I'm not sure if you guys can really tell, who I'm going for today. You never know. Like I said we might have an upset today, but yeah, definitely looking for a good game today, and I'm definitely hoping that. Um, let's see, are we back?
Am I back yet? Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Well, I can hear you. You just got a big old black square, but I can definitely hear you.
All right, let me remove myself to figure this out.
Okay. And it's just back to me now. But yeah, we are. Oh, we got a dot. We got progress. Let's see here.
So working on it on my end. You can hear me fine. Everybody can. Oh, I guess.
Oh yeah, you sound amazing. Sound amazing. But yes, let the people know about Banter Pub FC, and tell us what it's all about.
Well, I mean, y'all can hear me, but you can't see me, so I'll try to see that. So we are I guess almost a year-old podcast now. We've been we talk about all the intersections of football and culture, very similar, obviously, to the For the Culture podcast. We have a writing apparatus. We're going to have a website that's going to go live probably next week. We have a Discord server that is live right now that folks can join. That I don't want to mention right now, but because it's not totally live, but we will have the capability for folks to join us on our Discord server as well, including our friends at the For the Culture podcast as well. Yeah, things are trudging right along. We have our big 30th episode coming up in a few weeks. We
I
just
remember those
finished.
days.
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
So I remember those days because like we're getting close to 100. Once we get back from break, we'll be on the countdown to 100. Like
Oh, nice.
I really can't believe we made it on this far. But of course, that's thanks to the people like you guys, people, everybody in the culture out there. But like I said, we wanted to have this kickback before the game got started and everything. But yeah, man. What else is I'm actually just now finally being able to look at the 11s and actually how are you looking at this game turning out?
Uh, you know, and I should have came in with my prediction earlier. I think it's going to be similar to some of the to the other semifinal matches where they won't be blowouts. I think the quarterfinals were blowouts, and these are not going to be. I think we're going to have a close match. I think it's going to be a counterpunch affair. I think it could go as high as 5-4. I think it could go as low as 3-2. I think it's PSG's game to win and Bayern's game to lose. I think Bayern is coming into this game way too strong, with far too much talent, with far too many players that can score from literally anywhere, and they are just a goal-creating machine. And PSG is great at the counterattack. They are great at having teams play forward, or rather play with so many men in the box and just counter. And I don't, but I think this game is going to be won in the midfield. That's why I was shocked that Verratti didn't start for PSG. He is literally one of the reasons why PSG has done so well for so many seasons in Ligue 1, and why people just kind of give them the Ligue 1 title before the season starts. And I think not having him starting tells Bayern.
That's actually very surprising. That's very surprising because that like to me, first of all, he must be getting paid a whole lot because I'm shocked that Juve hasn't came and brought him back to Italy after all this time because I think he's probably the best Italian midfielder out there right now.
Right.
And
yep.
And so the fact that he's not in Italy and he hasn't been for quite some time now. I'm trying to think like when he actually first got signed by PSG. Like it's been a good at least 7 years, at least. Like it's been a hot minute. So yeah, like I'm very very shocked that he wouldn't be starting today.
Yeah, I think he was going to. I think that, as you said, he's one of the better midfielders. I am sure that newly minted manager Andreas Pirlo is salivating at the idea of potentially snagging Verratti back to Juventus. And I think with the with the recent departures at Juventus, particularly in the midfield, I'm just curious, kind of going forward, what happens in the midfield for PSG and Bayern. I know when the midfield is solid, like they are solid at the back, they're solid between the sticks, and they are solid in the attack. PSG is weakest in the midfield, and they are weakest without Verratti. So, and this is not a and this is not me saying that Verratti is the best midfielder in the world. He certainly isn't. He's one of the best midfielders, as you said, Greg, in Italy. But that doesn't mean that. But at the same time, because of his effectiveness in the midfield, it's going to be a detriment to PSG to not have him there as not just a defensive-minded midfielder, but also he has the ability, from a counter-attacking standpoint, to send the ball to Mbappe on the left and Neymar on the right.
Yeah, we got a comment from Jake Payne from Blackfires. It's going to be counters all day, which, given this, like, it's going to be a very fast game, extremely fast game. And I think from just especially from the wing play on both sides, I think the defenses on both sides are going to get a real good run today, a real good run. And I don't think they'll be able to keep a whole lot of. They won't be able to stay high for very long, depending on how quickly the opposition gets possession. Because again, you got speed on both sides with both teams, and all it takes is just a quick misstep. I think Boateng is slowing down a little bit, like the last year or two. So having to deal with Neymar and Mbappe and Di Maria, who still got some wheels on them, like that, they're going to be tested, very much so. And I think that if they're smart, they will stay far away from our man Alphonso Davies. Like, just go ahead and say, nah, we gonna take our chances going through the middle, or at least through the right. And Jake also has another question. Which team would be affected by a loss more? Like, which team would be more likely to have their momentum thrown off or re-examine their roster? That is a good question. I think just in general for their overall project, it definitely affects PSG more because if not for COVID and not for the season shutting down the way it did, before the shutdown, people were still thinking that Neymar was pretty much on his way out, and that Mbappe, let's say, he may or may not be staying, like he may or may not be a target for Real Madrid. And I think that things stopping the way they did and affecting everyone's money the way that it has, the teams that would normally probably try to spend during the off season, they haven't. Like, it's basically just been like everyone's kind of just held firm with what they have and trying to see, like, let's try to weather this storm out and see what happens. Or, if someone's just that desperate to spend the money, are they going to do that? It's really, it could really go either way. But I think Bayern is actually, they're progressing to a point to where I think next year, no matter what happens here, they'll probably be the odds-on favorite to win the Champions League for next season. And so it's really, I think it's more on PSG because they're at the point where with what they have now, you can kind of say it's a fish or cut bait type of situation where if they don't win, that this could really be it for this current era of PSG, and they'll look to renew their particular team. But let us know what you guys think, and let's keep talking about it. As far as my prediction for today's game, I think that I'm going for PSG to win, but I think Bayern will win probably something like 2-1. I think that, their momentum has been far too great since the restart. They blew through the Bundesliga. They've blown through the Champions League. Like, they've made giants look like minnows, and I think that Without that, um, if as long as they keep playing their game, it's theirs to lose. Now, it doesn't mean that PSG is completely out of their depth. I just think that the momentum is definitely within Bayern's favor. For if they do what they do, they should be able to take this. Let us know what you guys think on Twitter. Tag us at FTC UTD. Tag the Banter Pub at the Banter Pub FC. And like I said, like, we're going to enjoy this game. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. We will be active on the Twitter. And yeah, we'll get at you soon.